All right. I am starting later than I intended to, so, but I also ate before I started streaming, so I feel like that was a worthy compromise. Okay. I was out. I ran some errands this morning, and so, I don't know. I just got home, inhaled some food, and then started streaming, so I haven't even collected myself yet. But, I said I would stream at noon, and it's noon 45, so, I wanted to get on this at least. Alrighty. G from Book Roast announced Magical Readathon for the autumn equinox, and I am so excited. I participate in this every year, both the spring and the autumn one that takes place in August, but don't question it. If you are curious, this is what I read for the spring one. I didn't vlog about it or post my reading online in any way. Let's see if I can. How the heck? No. I want to zoom in. So maybe you can read it. So here's what I read in April for the Magical Readathon. So I did complete all of the... Hi, Elizabeth! I completed everything for all the prompts for April, which means I'm gonna try to complete all the prompts for August. And G said that we can start 3 days early, so I'm gonna start on, I think she said you can start on the 27th? Which wouldn't be 3 days, that would be 4 days early, so I'll double check and rewatch the video before I actually start reading. I feel like she said 3 days, but then I also heard her say the 27th, so I don't know. In case you're wondering what the heck I'm doing, by the way, this is like pain relieving cream because I have chronic neck pain. So anyway, so this is what I read in April. In April, I was also participating. This was like not my main priority in April. I basically fulfilled most of these just by fulfilling other things, because my main priority in April was Readathon, which I went fucking ham for. In Readathon, I had so much fun with Readathon, which again, I didn't like vlog anything or talk about online at all, but I read a lot of books for Readathon. I read 57 books for Readathon in April, and I attacked I defended my realm with 1,373 points, and I attacked other realms with 827 points, mostly the romance team, because romance books you can get through very quickly. So I wanted to, make sure that I was hurting the people who were most likely going to win. And I was on the sci-fi team, and we won, the sci-fi nonfiction team. So that was super, super fun. That's one of the most fun I've had in a readathon, I feel like, in a really long time. I shouldn't say that. I always have a really great, phenomenal time with Magical Readathon, but besides Magical Readathon, that is one of the most fun I've had with a readathon in a really long time was Realmathon, and I'm very excited for the next Realmathon, which probably won't be until next April, but that is okay. Anyway, so I did hit all my prompts for, the point of that was I did end up hitting all of my prompts for the spring equinox, mostly just because I read so much for Realmathon that these were basically just hit anyway. And now autumn equinox, I haven't started planning anything. I'm very excited. The thing about Realmathon is that it wasn't that you were trying to hit specific prompts. So like there wasn't like 20 prompts and you were trying to hit 20 prompts. Is that there was a list of I don't know, 15 prompts or so, and then you could use 5 of them. There were 15 positive points and 15 positive prompts and like 15 negative prompts. Let's say, I don't know if it was actually 15, it might have been 16 or 17. I could count them right now, but I'm not going to. So say like, okay, 17 positive prompts and 17 negative prompts. You couldn't combine both positive and negative prompts together, so you'd had to just choose positive or just choose negative. But for that, it's like you were trying to hit the prompts, obviously, that were gonna get you more points. So if you could, for the books that you were reading, if you were able to hit like 5 of the 6 most high prompts, like points, with the, because you could double up 5 or quintuple up 5 for one book. I don't know if any of this is making sense. Then that was allowed. Then yeah, so it's like you weren't like just trying to, it gave me a lot more incentive just to read whatever I wanted to, and I knew that I could at least get some points for my team, which was really cool. I don't know, I haven't really done team-based readathons before, and I really like how this was done. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. And then same thing with negative points, is that there were the few that gave you like the most points, but then even if I wasn't able to get some of these bigger ones, at least I was able to get a few of the smaller ones. And then there were also some other ones that it's like, if it was between a certain page range, you got some extra bonus points, or if it was like, I don't know, just like other different things, like if it was within your team genre, you got extra bonus points or things like that. So it also incentivized me to read a lot of like nonfiction and a lot of science fiction that month, which was awesome, and I've been super in the mood for science fiction this year, so that, I mean, that was kind of, I mean, I read all genres pretty much, so there was no reason. The different teams, there were 4 different teams, so science fiction and nonfiction, because it was kind of like learning, romance, fantasy, and like horror / spooky books. So like I could have done any of those. I think the horror and spooky books would have been like probably my least effective, but I still have been reading a lot of horror this year, especially for me. And I still read quite a bit of horror in April, but so I could have plausibly done any of them, but I was in the mood for that, and so I did it, and it was a good time. Anyway, back to autumn equinox, and sorry, let me read your comment, Elizabeth. You're not doing magical readathon, but you're planning August TBR already. I feel like I'm often not planning the TBR to like a few days before. I feel like this is so early. You must have a lot of things you're excited for then. You do page count to get points each month. I like that they switch which team you're on each month. I used to be a part of like a Discord page reading challenge thing with teams, and you could choose which team you were on, so I would switch between teams, but nobody else was, so then eventually I just chose a team and stuck to it. But I was like, why isn't everybody switching? Like, isn't that more fun to kind of like get to know the different people and like get to pair up with different people, and maybe you could realize that maybe you're reading the same book and you could maybe do a buddy read, or I don't know. It's like different motivators and stuff. I think that's fun. Anyway, magical readathon. So, book roast. Ugh. God bless her. So let's syllabus. I don't think it will let me copy this one. Is there the typed syllabus? Because I know she will tend to do the typed syllabus, but I don't know if like a transcripty type thing. But I don't know where that is. Oh, maybe it's not typed, it's just makes it maybe easier to read. Let me see. Transcripts, there we go. Spring, autumn equinox syllabus. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so here's my list, the list of prompts for the autumn equinox. So she did explicitly say that you don't have to complete these. Oh my gosh, my mouse is being so glitchy. Just smack the shit out of it and that will fix it, right? If she said you don't have to complete them in order, you just by the end of the month, like you don't have to read them in order, but by the end of the month you do have to have them read, like the number 3 prompt and the number 2 prompt in order to get like number 1 and number 2 in order to get number 3, etc. Okay. And I did watch, obviously I watched G's video. But I didn't actually do any like planning. I was like, I'm going to save this for the live stream. Let me take this and pull it out a little bit, fill up the screen on the bottom, and then 2, let me zoom this in a little bit, and maybe this will take it bigger so you can see. I don't know if that will be cutting off. That should be good. The James are Looney Tune characters. That sounds really fun. I hate Facebook, and it makes me very... I just... getting on it, and the way it functions and everything about it, I really hate. And every time I try to get on and use Facebook for like a Facebook group, I really, really struggle with it. But if I didn't, that sounds really tempting to join, because that sounds like a really cool. I'm not good with the consistency of like having to keep up with stuff. Obviously. Okay. But yeah, I haven't started even thinking about what books I'm going to be reading. So my thought is that I'm going to see like how many prompts there are and then just start filling them in with what we set up last week with that like end of year TBR. Very handy. I also put myself on like a library, like a Libby ban last week, and I'm trying not to take anything out from Libby so that I can finish everything that I have out before this starts in about 10 days, so that I can start just like borrowing the books that I actually intend on reading, because I always tend to, in the past, I've always tended to have a lot of extra leftover books from July that I have to fit in to the Readathon, which hasn't been a big deal. I've always been able to like finish it, the TBR, but I might as well plan ahead and see if that works out for me. Oh, I feel like some of these are going to be so difficult. I forgot. Lily in the title or author's name? That's so mean. Jesus Christ, this is so many prompts. Good thing I'm going to take advantage of those extra days. 42 reading prompts. That's ridiculous. Okay. So I'm going to resize this column set, and then I'm going to pull this one out to here, cut it off. Wrap the text so that it doesn't get dragged out. Okay. You also have Discord. I feel like Discord is definitely better. Yeah, maybe it's something I can look into for like September or October. Although I always get really depressed and have a huge reading slump in September/October, especially October, so we'll see about that. Okay. I'm so excited. I didn't let myself do any planning because I was like, she just released the video a couple days ago, and I was like, it's only a few days. I can wait for the live stream and then do planning. I'm so excited. Okay, series. I feel like this is super easy, so I'm just gonna skip it, and I'm gonna focus first on like these weirder prompts. I have 93 books on my 2023 TBR. Pet pick. G said that she would post something, because I don't have a pet. So G said that she would post something onto her Instagram, although she probably hasn't done it yet because she wasn't probably expecting people to already be planning out their TBR. or she said we could use a random number generator, or oh, she already did do the pet pick. Okay, so there is pet pick, so I can do that. First I'm gonna kind of see what other books fit into these difficult prompts, and then maybe just choose some like random books for this one that will fit into whatever. A debut book. Okay, I feel like that one's a bit trickier because I feel like a lot of these are books that are by authors that I've already read. I don't think this was Jane Yolen's debut, but I can always take a look. No, definitely wasn't, because right here is a book. I've never even heard of this book, but apparently it's Jane's most popular book, The Devil's Arithmetic? Whatever that is. Okay. Is this the time that I finally read The Little Prince? Is that it? No, that wasn't a debut, because they had Wind, Sand, and Stars. Damn it. What about Hey Penny Magic? Which isn't loading. Please load. Okay. Nope. God damn it. Nope. Nope. Honestly, it might be better just to like see if there's any like new releases by debut authors. That might be easier, but that's okay. Was this Gregory Maguire's first book? Oh, that might be Thor Hansen's first book. Gregory, no. Oh, I didn't realize. Wait, was that his first book? Maybe I'll finally read Wicked and Thor Hansen. Triumph of Seeds. Oh no, Feathers. Oh, I didn't realize Feathers he came out with in 2001? No, I didn't realize that. Okay, let's sort this by original publication year. Did other things? Oh yeah, he wrote some children's books. In 1970. Dang it. Oh, this is tougher than I was expecting. Okay. Oh, woe is me. I don't think this was your first book. The problem with this list is a bunch of these are sequels. So I'm like, at least that's really easy and I can just skip all the sequels, but oh, you know what? This one might be the first. Let's look at this. Okay, so first, yeah, that one wasn't. This one could work. Okay, so Crabapple Trouble came out in 2020. This doesn't have a publication date. I think it's probably self-published, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna count that. Oh, I didn't realize this came out afterwards. Well, that ruins everything. Never mind, this doesn't count. I didn't realize this existed. Doesn't this look so cute? I'm gonna add this to my TBR. Adorable. Okay. More stories about little pumpkin people, please. Okay, Casey Davis has only written one book. That's what I should be looking for, as an author that has no other books. From Edelweiss, I got arcs that are all nonfiction. A Field Guide to Backyard Birds of North America. Mystical Mushrooms. I feel like that one's on my TBR. If it's the one that I'm thinking it is. Oh, and God Killer is a who's the author of this one? Kane? Ah. Oh, this isn't the one I was thinking it was. That sounds delightful. What was this other one? If only I was a birder. Oh, nonfiction is so good. I'm gonna have to tell my friend about this one though. She's been super into birds recently. I'm gonna take a picture of it so I can tell her. Okay. I'm like, I don't go outside, so this is not helpful for me. Okay, so I have two options. God Killer or How to Keep House While Drowning. I think I'm going to do God Killer because I've already read How to Keep House While Drowning, which I would like to read again, but is not like I'd also like to read some of these other books that I haven't already read. What is this? Play Fair Display. Okay, I'm gonna try to change the whole font to that so they all match. There we go. Isn't that fun? Okay, that took way longer than I thought it would. The first book, and it's already a struggle. Okay. Bicorn Wolf Care. Okay, that one I can just pretty much fit like any book in. I typically read books over 2 days, is that I'll finish a book at night, and then I'll start a new book at night, and then the next day I'll finish it at night, and then I'll start a new book at that night. And it's like, that's how I'll read a book in like one day, in like 24 hours a lot of the time, but I read it over 2 days because I started at night, and then I have like momentum the next day to read it. That's, yeah, typically how I read. Read a book without touching the floor or ground, whatever. An audiobook, whatever. A book with no magic. I should sort these in some kind of way that is like not, well, okay. Right now they're by the date added, which honestly isn't a bad idea because then I'm gonna like get to these books that are older on my TBR. So I'll just keep it with that and then maybe start at the beginning each time. A book with no magic. I'm just gonna throw Yotsuba in there. Except for my mouse is frozen. Damn it. Although, should I just choose a different nonfiction? That is always... well, Yotsuba. I'll just do that. No. No. Okay. You'll stay up all night reading if it's good. And occasionally I will do that, but not anymore. I used to do that a lot more, but now I'm just too sleepy. I need the sleep. That come midnight, I'm just usually pretty exhausted, and I start getting like really, really groggy. So finally, my body is learning like better sleep patterns, I guess. A word in the title from the last song you listened to. Now this is interesting. I don't know what that is, and I don't really listen to music, so I don't know when that was either. Oh. Okay, apparently the last song I was listening to, which I don't know if this counts. I wasn't listening to this song, so I know what it was. It was Bad Idea by Girl in Red. And I wasn't listening to it. I just, I had little, like, detachable, like, at my earplugs, my headphones, not my earplugs, my headphones, are not, like, attached to anything. So when I fall asleep with them in bed, they disappear. And so then when I wake up in the morning, if there's still battery life on them, sometimes they die overnight and then I just have to like search for them. But if there's still battery life in them, sometimes I'll turn on music and I'll just play a really loud song and turn up my music really loud so that I can like find my earphone. So that's what that was. So I guess it's the last song I was listening to, even though I didn't actually listen to it. And I don't know. And then I think the last song that I legitimately listened to was probably As It Was by Harry Styles. But I don't even remember the last time I listened to music. So we're just going to go with Bad Idea. Which, ooh, I don't know. That sounds like a bad idea because I don't think I'll have either of those. Nope. Okay, not on my immediate TBR, but let me just go to my general TBR and see if I can find anything. I feel it's like Oh yeah, and a lot of these, I'm sure I will. I'll be reading them and I'll decide to DNF them. I am 100% okay with doing that. The Bad Beginning. Do I start my reread of Lemony Snicket? Oh, I could listen to Bad for the Boss by Talia Hibbert because, although I'm a little worried because it doesn't have very great ratings, but I love Talia Hibbert. Bad Guy by Ruby Dixon. Lovely Bad Things by Trisha Wolfe. From Bad to Cursed by Lana Harper. Bad Blood, Bad Cree. I think I'm gonna go with actually the Talia Hibbert because I've been meaning to read that forever and it's short and I feel like that's a good mix and it's a contemporary romance. So I feel like those are all great things for readathons for me. And I'm not even gonna try idea. There's probably gonna be like nothing. I mean, I'll look it up, but I don't think I'm gonna have like 2 books with the word in. I have 1 book on my TBR with idea in the title. Woo! Bad to Curse. From Bad to Curse. Which one? Yeah, so I tried to read the first book and I didn't care for it. And I ended up DNFing it, but I didn't even mark it on my Goodreads. But I was like, I'm gonna try the second book. But I'm a little worried. Because I wasn't into the first book. Okay. Read from a finished series? Okay, now I can go back to this. Okay, I'm just gonna do Fawn and the Mysterious Tricksters. That sounds perfect because the series finished like in 2010 or 2013 or whatever. It finished a long time ago. When they became less popular at Disney. A book with a red cover. Will my cat eat my eyeballs? Or I Am Half Sick of Shadows. Ooh, because I should read this. But also I would love to reread this. I think we're gonna do I Am Half Sick of Shadows, and then I can always change it. Although this is a lot longer than that one. Read a court/royal book. A Tale of Two Castles? I mean, it has castles in the title. I think it is. Is there a princess in this book? Why is this not? There was a princess in the book, so I'm gonna count that. I never ended up reading this book when it came out. I always meant to, and I never did. So I'm finally gonna read it. And I'm very worried. And I'll probably DNF it, but it is what it is. Okay. Spirit Communications. Book inspired / set in a different culture / country than yours. The Little Prince is French. I don't know. I don't want to choose just like Binti. There we go. That's perfect. African. It's also space. So two very different things. Don't live in space, and also do not live in Africa. Very exciting. Okay. I don't want to choose, like, I mean, you could. It's totally within the rules that you could just choose, like, England or whatever, but I didn't want to just choose, like, white. Read an indie / self-published book. Okay, I don't think it's going to be really any of these other, like, newer ones, older ones on my TBR, I mean. Let me... I know quite a few of these are definitely indie and self-published. I'm just trying to think about which I want to do. In the Company of Fiends. Let's do that. I've been meaning to read this since it came out over a year ago, but they weren't releasing it on audio, and they finally just released the audio like last month. I'm so excited. So, okay. Read a first book you see on Instagram / Goodreads or other. Okay, so let's go to Goodreads home, and I guess what's on my want to read shelf. That's not on my TBR. That's not on my TBR. This is on my TBR, but it's no audio, so I'm not going to count it. Yeah, okay. My Best Friend's Exorcism. Ooh, yay. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to read that for so long. Ah! Okay. Very excited about that. A book with a magical creature. I'm going to choose Terrier. Should I choose Terrier? I have really been wanting to reread it. And it does have a magical creature. But also, I know so many other books have magical creatures, but yeah, I'll just choose Terrier. I'll call it good. One of my favorite books. No, stop it. There we go. Alright. Put a few books on a poll and let others decide. Okay. And normally this is something I would like post on Goodreads, but not Goodreads. Twitter. But Twitter's dead. So, I guess maybe I will make a poll on Instagram, and then you can vote on Instagram. Maybe I'll do that. But I can always do that closer too. Or maybe I will do that on a live stream, like closer to the Magical Readathon, or even during the Magical Readathon. I can always like hold up like 2 books and then just make people vote. Okay, I'll skip that one for now. Book with the word Earth in the title. Oh, book over 500 pages. Terrier is over 500 pages, which is why maybe I should stop putting these long ass books in for these shorter prompts. Okay, let's try to find a different one for a book with a magical creature. Because I know a lot of these are quite a few pages over 500, but also a lot of them are just like right under 500 pages. Okay, let's throw the Tea Dragon Festival in for that one, and then I'll do Terrier for... book with Earth in the title. Ooh. Oh, I already read this one. God damn it. The only book with Earth in the title I already read. Fuck. Okay. Let's see what other books are on my TBR with Earth. A Wizard of Earthsea. Life on Earth. Muddle Earth. House of Earth and Blood. Just a quick little book to read. Venomous. How Earth's deadliest creatures mastered biochemistry. Okay. I feel like I should either do Muddle Earth or Venomous. And I think I'm going to do Venomous. A book with a snake on the cover. Ooh. Okay, I definitely think I could count these little creatures as snakes. So that's an option. A Strange Case of Alchemist's Daughter, or any of these snakes? No, no snakes there. Okay, there's a snake right here, Monster She Wrote. Okay. Alright, well, I've already found 2. I should just move on. Choose one of them instead of keep trying to go. But I'm like, some of these other ones probably have snakes, right? I'm sure they do, but... Oh, I already read this one too. It has a dragon? A very snake-like dragon? Okay. So, the Return of the King, I mean, it's definitely... You could argue definitely that this is a snake. But this is like straight up legitimately a snake. So I'm gonna choose this one. Monster She Wrote, the women who pioneered horror and speculative fiction. Read a manga / comic / graphic novel. Monster Friends. Been meaning to read that for a hot minute. Black cover or fire on the cover? Okay, well this should be pretty freaking easy. I would consider this a black cover. Black, red, gray. I would consider this fire. It's like blue fire. A Touch of Snow. That's a black cover. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that one actually. A Touch of Stone and Snow. The blackest. Read in Silence. Gemstone in the name, like jade, amethyst, etc. Wait, gemstone in the name? Gemstone in the name? Like a touch of stone and snow? Also, aren't there a lot of gemstones with snow in the name too? Like a snow onyx or shit like that? I feel like stone in the title, that should count. Right? But I'll see if any of these other ones jump out at me. Moon? Like moonstone? Rose? Like rose quartz, maybe? Okay. I think it's definitely probably pushing it. So I could look up, like, list of gemstones. Ones that might actually be in book titles. Garnet, maybe. I don't know if I have any with garnet in the title. Amber? Bloodstone? Probably not. God damn it. Opal. Oh, this little tiny frog, how cute. Citrine. I love you. Emerald. It's like I've already read all of them. Gosh dang it. Jet? Nope. I could read The Moonstone. Or The Case of the Missing Moonstone. Which I apparently already DNF'd. Haha. Okay. Onyx. Obsidian. I don't know. There are some that are coming up, but they're not ones that I'm like, oh yeah, I've been really excited to read that. So, I mean, I can always go back through and find these, but I'd rather, like, obviously pull one that I'm like, oh yeah, I've been really wanting to read that, and one that I'm, like, genuinely excited about. It just has to have a gemstone in the title. The Legend of the Bloodstone. Oh no. This worries me though, because it's from 2013, and I don't really trust books that are from 2013. Oh no. Oh no. No, I don't want to read that. Oh. The Citadel of Weeping Pearls. That's what I'm gonna read. Okay, this is the next book that I wanted to read in this series, the Zuya Universe by Annette de Bodard, because I read the Tea Master and the Detective and I really enjoyed it. There we go. Read an adventure book. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that? I don't know. What is an adventure book? I don't read adventure books, do I? Okay, let's try this. I like this cover. Okay. Oh, I guess I read adventure books. It's just not something that I think of as its like own genre. A baker apprentice reluctantly embarks on an adventure full of magic, new friendships, and a prince in distress in this deliciously romantic young adult fantasy that's perfect for fans of Margaret Rogerson and Gail Carson Levine. That sounds cute. It's not all sugar and spice at Basil's Bakery. Adorable. Okay. An adventure book. Alright. I for sure have an adventure book. So then I guess I should just put Lord Brocktree by Brian Jakes on there, because I've been wanting to read that forever, and I kept saying I haven't read it because there's no audiobook. I haven't read it because there's no audiobook, but they finally released the audiobook. It's not narrated by Brian Jakes, which is absolutely devastating, but of course he's dead. He can't narrate it. He's been dead for over 10 years or whatever it's been, so he can't narrate it. It's one of the few, there's like 4 Redwall books or 5 Redwall books that he never narrated, and this is one of the few that he never ended up narrating. So I guess they're finally putting other narrators on. So now that there's a narrator, I'm finally gonna read it. But I'm worried, because it's not narrated by Brian Jakes, so is it gonna take out the magic of the books? Not the literal magic, because there's not like but the, you know, the metaphorical magic. Clive Cussler. The thing is I don't want nonstop action and adventure. I don't want that. I like breathing and character moments and softness and, I don't know, reflection and gentle moments with characters. Which I guess adventure books can have too. But I don't want nonstop action. A pet on a cover. Okay, and G specifically said this had to be a pet. A pig and a chicken. That would be a pet. You wouldn't call that she said nothing that would be classified as a exotic pet, but a chicken's not an exotic pet. Will my cat eat my eyeballs? Is a dinosaur an exotic pet? I just didn't know if there was anything else on there. Okay. I was wanting to put it on there earlier, so here we are. Will my cat eat my eyeballs? I will have to reread. Okay. A book from your end of year TBR, which is this entire list, so I will choose that later. A shield on the cover or shield in the title. Okay. No, people do keep chickens as pets. I just read a whole book about this. It was called Under the Henfluence. I'll pull it up for you. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Under the Henfluence by Tove Danovich. Inside the world of backyard chickens and the people who love them. An immersive blend of chicken-keeping memoir and an animal welfare reporting by a journalist who accidentally became obsessed with her flock. People totally keep chickens as pets. It's very common. And you know who keeps chickens and keeps chickens as for like show chickens and for and puts them in shows and stuff for like chicken shows. There's a whole chapter in this book on chicken shows. You know who does it? Jan Brett of children's book writing fame. Is like a star chicken show contestant. She raises mighty fine chickens, apparently. Anyway. But a lot of people, it's not just for the eggs. It's like for like the personalities and the love of the flock and stuff. Some people it's like is the fact of like the personality of the animal and as a pet. Anyway, I lost my mouse. There we go. Anyway, it was a really good book. I recommend it. It was very fun. A book with a shield on the cover. It's such a horrible prompt. I'm sorry, G. I love you and I appreciate you, but what the heck? No, I don't like this one. Spinning silver? Is this a shield? No, that's not a shield. I was hoping it was a shield, but it's not. Dang it. I'm thinking I might count this one if I can't find something else, because like the shell of the seed is like the shield keeping. Yeah, they have chicken shows that they bring. Their chickens from all over the place, and they like groom them and fluff them up, and then judges come around and look at them to see, like, I don't know, how beautiful they are and stuff, and I don't know, it's weird. They don't even look at the eggs that they produce. It's literally just about how like the chicken looks and behaves and stuff for the chicken shows. So I might use this one for a shell on, or for a shield on the cover, if I can't find something else. I feel like a spaceship could also count because, you know, spaceships always have shields, and they're like, deploy the shields! Our shield is down! But it's not like a literal shield that you can see. I feel like this is very difficult. This gnome does not have a shield. This is not a shield. That's unfortunately not a shield. Oh, this was really difficult. Okay. Alright, now let's see if I have any in the title. No. I don't even know what books would have it on the cover. Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom? Is there a shield here? Well, you would think so, but there's no shield. I wonder if, like, I should just look up Knight. Any that have Knight might have a shield, right? Oh, I just read this in April. Knights of the Kitchen Table. It did have a shield on the cover. The Kitchen Knight? I could read that, although I have to see if I can get it from the library. It's quite old. really proud of myself for thinking of Knight, that all of these would probably have a shield on the cover. This one doesn't. This one does. This one doesn't. No. No. Okay. I think I'm gonna try to do the Kitchen Knight, but let me look up from the library to see if my library even has a copy, because I don't think I own a copy. No, I do own a copy. Oh shit, I must have found one somewhere. That is fucking awesome. Okay, so I can for sure do that one. Nice. No, not audio. 2023 TBR. That's good stuff. Alright. Read a book that's not a debut. Well, that's easy. Just a moment. Oh, I'm gonna readjust. Oh. Well, as we saw before, basically everything isn't a debut on my TBR, so I can choose almost anything. So I think I'll leave that one and try to come back to it. We're getting really close to the end, and then I'm going to do a second pass to try to fill in some of these other ones. Bookseller's recommendation. So I'm thinking I may just ask someone at work to recommend me one. But also, I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do. I'll skip that one for now. Clothing on the cover. Well, that's easy as pie. And this book, oh, well, I don't care about doing that one. Let's do this one, Kiss of Steel. I've been meaning to read this book for ever and a day. Read a horror book. I don't know if I have too much horror on this list. I know I have this one, Nothing But Blackened Teeth, but I don't know if I have any other horror on the list. I think The Echo Wife is a thriller. I don't know if there's any horror. No, science fiction, thriller, mystery. Thornhedge, I think, is just fantasy. Oh, fantasy horror novella. I think I'm gonna do that one then, because I have it pre-ordered, so I'll get it on August 15th. Thornhedge. Well, there we go. Random tarot generator, same symbol and title or cover. So let me go grab a tarot deck. I know G provided one, but I'd rather just use my own. Or just ask yourself for a code. I could just reread one of my favorites. I'm like, what's a really good book? Or I could also recommend myself a book that I haven't read yet either. Because if somebody came in and asked for a book about something, and I haven't read a book on that topic, or fitting those themes, you bet your ass I'm still gonna find them things that fit that, regardless or not of if it's something that I've personally read. So there's also that too. Oh, be right back. Okay, so I have my Tarot of the Divine by Yoshi Tani. The most like beautiful deck ever. Okay. And this is going to be super interesting because Yoshi's artwork is not the same as like the Rider-Waite, so. Well, this one was sticking out. So, King of Swords, it has a griffin on the cover and a sword. And I think I know what I'm going to choose for this right off the bat with that, because the Dark Lord of Dirkholm has a heckin' griffin. Look at that. Boom. Done and done. Easiest prompt of my life. That was very fun. Okay. And I'm also going to write down which tarot it was. So I'm going to do King of Swords. Or ask Steve. Or I could also ask, you know, my coworkers. Or she also said that you could ask, oh, the next one was the Tower, which also would have been super fun. Fire, hair, thorns, people falling, lightning, storms. Like, you didn't have to you could just choose like an element. It didn't have to be like an exact match, obviously. But yeah, could ask my coworkers, or she also said that you could ask a librarian as well. And I also work at a library, so I could ask any of my coworkers at the library too. So I have lots of resources for that. But I love just asking myself. I'm like, what's a good book? I do love rereading, so that would work. A book set in the future. Oh, I know what I want to do for this, I think. But let me make sure. Because I am trying to get to some of these older ones that have been, because it's sorted by how long they've been on my Goodreads. So getting to the ones that have been here for longer is good. But yeah, I would like to do this one, The Last Emperor by John Scalzi. Lily on the cover or the word Lily in the title or author's name. This is one of the ones I think is the hardest. How dare you, G? That's very difficult. Let's see if I have any. I don't know if I do. Okay, I've already read these ones. Lily Singer Adventures. Soul Eater by Lily Mayne. Faye's Consort by Lily Archer. Wait, is it actually a fairy? It is actually a fairy. Is this on audio? It is on audio. Well, look at that. I'm just gonna do this one, I think. Should I do that one or should I do... Okay, Faye's Consort. They call me the village spinster. I rather enjoy it. Single and free to dance with the witches under the moonlight whenever I please. What could be better than that? When the day king shows up to take 10 changelings as his consorts, I'm happy those selection days are behind me. At least I thought they were, but instead of 10 young females, King Solano chooses only me. Me, Emma Druzy, sock darner and 28-year-old spinster of Moon Hollow. He takes me to the day realm, a world of sun and beauty, the likes of which I never imagined. Or Soul Eater. 20 years ago, monsters rose on Earth and began a new age of civilization, one where humans live in military-controlled, cramped and dirty cities along the coast, and the majority of the United States is known as the Wastes, a lawless and desolate and dangerous place, teeming with monsters that have claimed the lands for their own, including Wynn, the Soul Eater. He appears every 3 years, making his way across the country and slaughtering humans randomly, sucking them dry until they're nothing but husks. I've only been in the military for 6 months, but now I'm part of a unit tasked with trying to stop and capture him. Sounds very fun. Definitely want to read it, but I'm definitely more in the mood for something more like this, so I'm gonna go with Faye's Consort by Lily Archer. That wasn't too bad because she let you use the author's name. The cover on Soul Eater. It is very fun. I do really like fantasy romance covers. Start a book before bed. Like, fucking easiest thing for me. I do that every day. Read a book in a different spot each time you pick it up. Random letter generator. Title begins with that letter. Okay. Random letter generator. Okay, so if we go in and there's a letter, that's what we choose. C. Okay. Oh, okay, there's tons of options. So, C.C. Rios and the King of Fears, A Conspiracy of Truths. I'm already going to read Courtney, Friendship Superhero this month. Crier's War, Cruel Seduction, which I'm hesitant to choose because I might not be able to get it from the library in time. Cupid's Pack, A Curious Beginning, and The Curse of Chalian. So I'm going to choose A Curious Beginning just because it's been on my TBR for so long. I need to read it like 10 years ago. Read a book with vampires. Oh boy. wonder this. Kiss of Steel. Does this have vampires? Kiss of Steel does have vampires. I did choose it for something else, but I could swap those around. Garlic and the Witch. Boom. That's definitely one that I could use. Garlic and the Witch. Yeah. I don't know. Nothing else is like really jumping out at me. I think Company of Fiends has a vampire. But I've read so many vampire books recently. Garlic and the Witch. Need to read that. A random color generator. And doing this on stream is really nice because then I have it documented. Okay, whatever color. Squirrel gray. Okay, what is squirrel gray? A Little Prince? Is A Little Prince squirrel gray? A Little Prince is maybe squirrel gray. The Relentless Moon? Is that squirrel gray? It's really long though, and I already have a lot of really long books on my TBR, so I'm a little worried, but it's definitely an option. Nothing But Black and Teeth? Is that squirrel gray? Okay. Opinions. Which color is closest to squirrel gray? Is squirrel gray most like The Relentless Moon, Nothing But Black and Teeth, or The Little Prince? I think it's not like The Little Prince. The Little Prince is like too purple. That's too like green. Vampire Queen has vampires in it? Like The Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert? Is that what you mean? Because if so, I have already read. The third one. Nothing But Black and Teeth. Okay. The book that is guaranteed to give me nightmares. Look at how horrifying this cover is. And it has a 2.7 star rating on Goodreads. Like, everybody hates this book. Let's look at the star breakdown. Where can I do that? Most people gave it 3 stars, then 2 stars, then 4, then 1, then 5. But I really loved Cassandra's Cause newest book, so. And it is close to squirrel gray. Perfect. And it is short, which is excellent. It's only like 150 pages. 130 pages, even better. Okay. A chair on the cover? What the fuck? Okay. Let's see. There's a bed on the cover. She's sitting on a pig. No, she's sitting on a stone. Does a stone count as a chair? Chair, chair, chair. This one has like a chariot. Does that count? A chariot? What the fuck is on this cover? A bed? A doorway? A bottle of wine? Oh no, I don't want to save the image. I want to open the image. I think this is like a vanity. I don't think that's a chair. A broken lamp? I don't think that's a chair. A chariot doesn't count. Spoil sport. I thought it was funny. Briar's book. No. Do you know the author? It's a bike. A bike is a seat. Does that count? I don't think any of these have chairs. Bullshit. Okay. Kiss Her Once for Me. That has a chair. Okay, so that's definitely a contender. Although I don't really want to read. I have like all these wintry books at the beginning because I rearranged a bunch of my books in like January when I was in the mood, or December when I was in the mood for like cold books. Not helpful. Agnes Grey. I don't know that I would call it a chair, but she's sitting down. So there's like 100% something right there. I mean, well, you wouldn't really call this a chair either. It's a stool. if we're gonna be nitpicky. Angus thongs and full frontal snogging. Okay. I feel like I'm probably gonna DNF this book because I have no nostalgia with it. Let me see if some of the newer books on my TBR have chairs on the cover. A demon and his witch. There's a desk, but no chair? What kind of heathens are you? Ah! Confessions! Oh! What could be better to read than Confessions? Ah! This is the perfect book. You said you wanted a chair. I'll up you by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. How about 12 chairs? Is that enough for you, G? Joey W. Hill. Oh, the Vampire Queen's Servant. Again, I just get really worried. It's from 2007. Ah! That frightens me. Okay. Alright, so I feel like most of the hardest prompts are done. You're done. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be The Ghost in the Big Brass Bed is going to be the last book in a series. That's easy as pie. The 13th child. That can be the first book in a series. Continuing a series. Honestly, there's so many books I could put for this since most of these are sequels. But I'm going to put more because I really want to bully Christopher into reading this with me this month. Since we'll be traveling together. Pet pick. Okay, I'll come back to this one because I want to maybe get some of these other ones like flushed out first. First though, gonna go to the restroom, fill my water. Um, Elizabeth. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Because he feeds me, and he takes care of me, and he comes and gives me pets and kisses, and he comes and checks on how I'm doing. He makes sure it has water. It's more like I'm the pet. But that's really funny. I will come back to it and then choose a few books for G's prompts. Read a book in 2 days. I can basically choose anything for this. So, basically the sweet spot would be like a 10-hour audiobook. But since it's so open, I'm just gonna leave it and I will fill it closer to the date of, is what I'm gonna do. Read a book without touching the floor/ground. For that, since I have the bladder of a pea, let me see if I just have anything incredibly short. That I want to throw on here. If not, there we go. Frog and Toads together. Very, very short. Perfect thing to read. An audiobook, literally almost anything. I guess let's do Briar Rose. Why not? That could be another one that honestly I could just leave it as a free space. And I think actually I might do that. A few books on a poll and let others decide. A book that's not a debut. Let's do that one for Briar Rose, because as I learned, she wrote other books before this. A bookseller's recommendation. I'll ask somebody at work. Start a book before bed. Read a book in a different spot each time. There we go. So I'm feeling pretty freaking good about this. Okay, so then let's choose 4 books for pet pick. Okay. So let's do The Little Prince. Fortunately, the Milk. Sleeping Beauty. And honestly, these are all short, so I'm just gonna do it. Beauty and the Beast. They'll take nearly the same amount of effort. So we're gonna do A Little Prince is A, Fortunately the Milk is B, Sleeping Beauty is C, Beauty and the Beast is D, and who knows what how G ends up. I don't know if she did like A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if she did. Anyway. Four book options, then pick if you want Momo or Zeus to pick your. Okay, let's just do Momo. Oh. Okay. Number 4. Okay, so Beauty and the Beast. I just spoiled that. I should have said that I'm spoiling this, so I'm sorry if you were also going to use book roasts. Anyway, so Beauty and the Beast. Okay. Easy peasy. And then I'm thinking for a few books on a poll and let others decide. I might. I don't know. I might choose to. When does this come out on audio? Cupid's Pack. Oh. Well, it's not on Audible yet, so that's not helpful. So I might just try to choose 2 books that are very similar and ask people to decide. But I want to choose books within the same like vein of popularity or something so that it's not like horrendously unbalanced. It's difficult. Oh, this is interesting. Well, they're within the same vein of popularity, I would say. Like, they are kind of far apart, but it's the same author. I think that would be interesting. And either I could reread Spinning Silver, which I read for the autumn equinox, or the August magical readathon in 2018. So 5 years ago, which is wild. So I could reread that, or I could read the sequel to the second book in the Scholomance series. Although this one is quite a bit more popular than this one. But they're from different series, so that's always an option. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. It sounds like a good idea. Okay. So I think I'll maybe think about this one. I honestly might just post it just for ease of getting enough votes that it's actually like getting people's opinions. I might post it in the Magical Readathon Discord and have ask people to vote on it there. And I might just choose a few books within the same vein of popularity. On Goodreads. Maybe like 2 books under 1,000 ratings that came out last year or something like that. Just to give them both like a fair chance. Pardon me. Or this would be interesting. I'm not reading any short story collections. And these are both short story collections that have the same amount of ratings. So that is an option. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about this one. But I'll probably just take this covers and then post like the emojis beneath them and ask people to like hit the emoji that they like. Whew. Whew, pardon me. Okay, so then the next thing that I would do, I'm not going to do it right now because I'm starting to get a little tired, is that my next portion would be to like put maybe I guess I would go through and see where I could obtain these books, kind of like double check my TBR to see if like I can get these books from the library, if I have to like purchase them, whatever, if that's going to make changes to them, if I don't want to purchase them, things like that. And then I guess I would also probably put like the number of hours that each of them are, or if there isn't an audiobook, I'd put the number of pages to kind of see like what my average would have to be throughout the month in order to complete them all. And I'd probably just put in some kind of filler for the few that are empty. Just so that I can like get some kind of average. And then I guess I would also check. Opens the 29th of July. Okay, so it is 3 days before that we can start reading. So that means that I have 34 days to try to read all of these books, which I think is pretty doable. That's just a little bit more than 1 book a day. No, I was on a library ban just because I didn't want to be borrowing things and then having to fit those books into this readathon. That was the point of the library ban. But I'm not going to start borrowing all these books right away. I'm just going to start seeing if they're even like available, if my library owns them, stuff like that. Start assessing where I can get these since I don't own the majority of these books. That's what I mean. Because I do own some of them, so I could go through and see. I know I own this one on audio. I know I own these 3 on audio. I don't believe I own this edition. It's a physical book, so I would have to get this one from the library, but that's okay because it's not like a Libby audiobook that like gets returned on a certain day with like a hard deadline. Same thing with this one, I'd borrow it physically. I do have this one as like an advanced reader's copy, so that one's okay. I own this one. This one I would have to get from the library, but I believe it's on Hoopla. This one I own physically. This one I know I'd have to get from the library, so I'd see like which library has it and stuff like that. This one I own. This one I own. This one I own physically. This one I own physically. This one I own on audio. This one I own on audio, stuff like that. Just taking like assessment of like where all of these are from, because then I can start like planning out like maybe on like the 20th or whatever, or the 25th, I can start like actually borrowing these, or if some of these I do have to borrow from the library but they're not available from the library, like they're checked out by other patrons, I could place them on a hold right now in the hopes that they'll come in by the time that I need to actually read them for the readathon, stuff like that. But I'm on a library ban as far as like not actively. I have had quite a few holds come in from the library in the last week that I have sent on to the next patron. Because I'm not actively taking out books because I don't want to have my July reading bleed into the magical readathon. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. Too much talking, not enough drinking of water. But yeah, I'll start adding in this information, but at least this gives me like a really good basis. And then I also, as I'm kind of going through and choosing stuff, I also might start adding in like secondary options. That's like if I DNF this or whatever, what my backup is. But I don't know if that's worth it until I actually start reading these and start DNFing and moving stuff around, because then it becomes like a whole thing when stuff has to shift. Another thing that I'll do before the magical readathon starts is probably print out this list of prompts, and then because I have to read the O to read the Q to read the D. I mean, not technically, but like if I read the Q and then I don't read the O, if I read the Q and the D and I don't read the O, then I don't get the points for the Q or the D because you have to stack them. I'm gonna try to get to them within that order if I can, like read all the O's first, then read all the Q's, then read all the D's. So I think printing it out, both to have a sheet to like mark off and stuff, is fun and motivating, but then also I can like cut up the prompts and then have them in a little jar to go and like pull out prompts and stuff will be nice. So that's also something. I think I will take a nap. That is a great idea. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it. You just chatted with me the whole time, and that was very lovely of you. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And I hope you got some good planning on your August TPR done as well. And that you I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I totally lost it. But that you were able to fulfill, there we go, fulfill all your August reading dreams, even though we're only halfway through July and we're already planning for August because we're those kind of readers. Anyway, I will see you next week, hopefully around the same time, around noon EST on Sunday is my plan. And I will see you then. Bye. Oh, my mouse is frozen, so I can't sign off. Damn it. Oh, I missed talking. Oh, well, good. I'm glad I didn't, because then I got to see your thing. Oh, I missed talking to you too. Thank you so much for coming back and supporting me and being incredibly wonderful and supportive and great. Thank you. I appreciate it. You are the best. And I will talk to you next